Morning. Missed all your faces from last night. So I said that I would do a live in the team page, and honestly, if I don't do it today, then it's not going to be fresh in my brain because I'm doing the mentorship this week. And one of the things on my to-do list this weekend, while I have some kid-free time, because my girls are staying at my parents tonight, is I'm going to actually type this up. Even if it's saved in an Evernote in my phone, because I do think that this is something that I want to do even monthly, and maybe even run it with my coaches, and maybe next month have 10 spots. And that's, 2 a day, that's 1 hour a day of mentorship calls that I can do with new coaches, because I did mentorship calls with 2 women who were not signed up as coaches yet, and I guarantee they will be signed up after that mentorship call. So I'm going to break down how I went through Monday through, I didn't even write down Saturday, Sunday, but I know what they are. We ran it, so we just did this. We did a behind the scenes sneak peek group the week of the retreat. And then we were gonna run, April said that she was gonna run a coach mentorship the following week. And I said, let's run it a week later, so this week, because I was still inviting last week to the mentorship. And I actually wanted to take that time and invite women who I really wanted to be in it, who I really wanted to work with, those people that I said that I jive with, right? And I didn't want to just go straight into, hey, be in my mentorship group, because I really wanted this to be something. So I didn't want to rush into it. So we took the extra week. I talked about it in my stories. I invited, did all the things on the call last night. And then we started on Monday with the mentorship, and this is how we started. So on Monday, you guys know, if you don't know by now, I am obsessed with the BAT app. SC BAT is an app that you fill out, and so I really wanted to focus the group mainly on that, because I really want to focus how important it is and how simple it is to do the things if you just break down those 4 areas and how to fit them in your day. So, because that is what I've seen the most success with in the last few months. And so that's the main thing that I want to give to my coaches. Like, let's start working, let's start doing the things and tracking them. So Monday, it was a focus on the first section of the BAT. I took a picture, I scrunched it down, and I can put all the posts together in a PDF if you'd like that prefer, so I'm not going to go through so much of that. So I had the first section there. Then I did a post about that vital behavior block. So a little bit on personal development, why we work out, being a product of the product, why that's so important, and then personal development. So I shared my podcast in there. I shared the personal development video that I have on my YouTube that I recorded for our prep week group. So it's basic and not sweary, because I did it for the whole team. So something you can use. So I'll include that link as well. And then, I did go live and talk about the importance of being a product of the product and doing the things and putting yourself first. Like, this is where this block, that green circle should always be filled in, whether you're actively working your business or not. And I emphasize that in the group. Like, those things need to happen regardless. You show up for yourself first and foremost, or you can't help anyone else down the road, right? So big focus on that on the first day. Then Tuesday, we focused on the second grouping, which was our action items, our inviting. So we jumped right in on day 2. I shared a Melanie Mitro video about her daily to-do as a coach. It was like 10 minutes. I didn't pick long videos for these. I watched it first. And it was all still valid, other than at that time she posted 3 to 5 times a day on social media, and I told them now it's 1 to 2. So I shared that in there. I shared the National Wake Up Call in the mentorship. I also had a Melanie Mitro video that was talking about ending cold invites. So it was talking about inviting people and creating relationships and how you do that. And then we did a live break. I did a live breaking down an action hour or a power hour. So I went through each of those pieces and how we do them in a power hour. Okay, it's time to initiate connections and add followers. This is how I do that. Now it's time to invite. This is how I do that. It's time to follow up, right? So I don't have them all in front of me. So I went through each of those things basic with them. And I went, not only did I go through the second block of the bat and the live breakdown of the power hour, but I went over our income producing activities. And I stressed that. These are your income producing activities. These are the things that you need to do to move your business forward. This should be 80% of your time in the beginning. And so I'm even stressing these things. And it was not a requirement to be a coach, to be in the coach mentorship. You could have a spot and not be signed up yet. So this is amazing to do this with people who aren't even signed up yet. And I feel like this mentorship group is also linked to the success that I've had this week. So I really wanted to share, but didn't want to take up any more time on the call last night. So Wednesday is the third section of the bat, which is stories. April did a live walking them through how we do those stories, the daily life, the workout, the product without the name, a shout out, all of those, healthy meal prep and why, so people know we don't just drink shakes for a living. And so April did a live on breaking down like how we do those without adding extra time to our day. Because a lot of those are things that you're already doing. It's just taking that extra maybe like 5 minutes and adding a story so you can share. Because a lot of they're like, oh, I have to do all these things, and it's just breaking it down to them. You're already doing these things. We're just asking you to pause, take a story, and do it as you would, right? So I think that was really helpful. And then there was I shared a post about mistakes that people make with IG stories, which I think I also shared in the team page, but I shared that because it fit along with what we were talking about that day. And then Thursday, this is the bread and butter of our business, baby, getting people results. So of course, I did a live on that. And again, my live's not long. I think it was under 20 minutes. Go me. I don't want anything to be super long in this group. I want them to be able to sit down, grab one thing and take it, right? So I did a live about getting people results. I went through those things, and I even talked about where you can find things. So we talked about contributing to your challenge group. Where do you find these things? You go into your back office. And I even broke it down because some of them are not coaches yet. teambeachbody.com. Log in, coach, sign in, coach office, grow my business, product tools and share. I just went through that on the video quickly, but they always have that to go back now. And I told them that they have tons of content for challenge groups. You can run challenge groups with other coaches. No new coach is expected to run a challenge group on our team. Because I think a lot of people are scared about having to run their own group. So I think I love how it all turned out. It was not the plan. I had not really even a total vision when I was inviting for the mentorship. And even that Sunday night, I was like, oh shit, we're doing this tomorrow. I don't really know. All I knew is that I wanted to walk through the vital behaviors. And then I love how I tied it into the bat. So also on Thursday, we shared the team call info in there. And then today, Friday, we're talking about social media and apps. So I shared Jess's training video on Triller and Lightroom, and then I shared an example. I took a photo of Elsie and her two friends, a perfectly clear and bright photo, and then I edited it with Lightroom, and I shared, see the difference? Simple, right? So nothing too crazy. So far, that's all we have. I'm going to find some kind of video or training, a little bit on Instagram stories to focus more on that. Also, and this is big, especially for people that I attract my following. When I first started as a coach, like, you couldn't have paid me to take a regular speed video where you would see what I was doing and see what Autumn or someone else was doing at the same time. Like, move for move, rep for rep, form for form. No, would have never, ever, ever put myself in that comparison place, let alone shared it with someone else. So I talk about time-lapse video because it's super quick, it's super speedy, and it's easy because I also want them to work out. I don't want them to be pausing their workout 500 times and doing their video. I want them to push play, sweat, get the results so they can help other people get the results. So what I'm focusing on with them, especially new coaches just getting started, is time-lapse video. Start, it's in your camera options, start it, finish it at the end, add some music. Or Triller, because Triller is easy. When you're taking your break to get your broad ropes, you just hit a button. And at the end, it shuffles it off for you, makes a nice video with a song, boom, bingo bango, done, right? So those are great tips to give new coaches because sharing videos of their workouts are most likely scary for most of them and something they've never done before. So, and then we're going to talk about Instagram stories and share like those things to search for the, aesthetically pleasing, I think that's the word, stories like the boho and the Izzy print, Izzy ink, I think, that we shared in the team page. So we're going to share some of that stuff today. And then tomorrow, I already have the videos scheduled out. I have a 6-minute video from Michael Neiman talking about Team Cycle Bonus. And then I have a link to Casey's Push to Emerald group in there as well. So we're going to talk about what's the next step. Let's start to talk about our comp plan. Let's start to talk about building this business and your team. So we share the team cycle bonus so they can see what kind of additional source of income they open up once they become Emerald, and then we get them into that Push to Emerald group. So I also really like running the coach mentorship on the last week of the month because that push group is the first 2 weeks of the month. And if I'm going to be continuing to put people in there, I'm happy to help tell Casey that I will help. But I love that. And it's not really something that I want to take on my own, but I will absolutely help doing it. So that was my plan. That's what's happening. Oh, and on Sunday, I'm just going to share a bunch of third-party tools. And I'm going to talk about third-party tools. And I'm going to tell them, so I know that we've talked a lot today. And I want you to know that you don't have to know everything at all. Like, we have great third-party tools. And if you have questions, you can screenshot conversations, share them in your pod chat, share them in your team page, send them to your coach, and just talk a little bit about that support and what they're going to get from here. So a little bit about new coach training, but it's going to be heavy emphasis on third-party tools and how we use them and duplicatable systems that we have in our downline. So the third-party tools, the new coach training, that's all going to come into play. So I'm freaking excited. I'm pumped. Like, I think that one of the things, personally, and I hope you guys all hop on here that were on the call last night, tag your tribe, tag your friends in the team. Because I think that one of the things that held me up on like really hardcore recruiting working coaches is that I was intimidated getting them started. And I didn't really know how to do it and where to do it. And I am a very I'm in your face, like we are best friends, like that's kind of me. So just signing people up and then putting them into a self-paced new coach training just kind of isn't my vibe. And I think it took me a while to realize that, and everyone is different, but I need to interact with them. And so they each also got one 30-minute mentorship call with me, whether they're signed up as a coach or not. And in that mentorship call, I quickly went over it on the call last night. I went through their goals as a coach. Like, we talked about getting to Emerald. We talked about making your list of 100 people. Your first 5 to 10 are people that you already have relationships with, people you're already friends with, your friends and family, people who you can ask to do this with you and support you in this new business. And hopefully you get 2 of them signed up with a discount, and boom, you're Emerald. And your success club from that first month is going to come from the people who are going to join you, your warm market, right? And then you're going to pick a program, preferably 3 weeks, 1 month max. Also, because when you're first getting started, it's so much easier to commit to something when you have a finish line 3 weeks ahead or a month. You know, I don't recommend anybody getting started with Morning Meltdown 100 or 80-day obsession. Like, that's just a lot for someone to start to commit to. So also, as a new coach, 3 weeks, boom, you have results. So in month 2, as a new coach, you're sharing your results. And now people are going to be like, whoa, you've been doing what for the last month? Girl, hey. And that's where Success Club is going to come from month 2. And then for month 3, to lock in that success starter, we're going to talk about exactly what you're pushing for. We're going to talk about the fact that you have locked in 2 months of success starter. And if you hit it this month, then you will be in an exclusive test group. You will get the opportunity to do a program with these personal trainers that you've been working out with for the last 2 months before the program has been filmed. You get 24/7 private access to a trainer. Let's hope it's Joel. And this is literally what I say to my people. And so that's what we're going to talk about on month 3. And that's how you're going to lock in Success Starter on month 3. And then you're going to be Emerald. You're going to have at least 9 people who have joined you on this journey. And that's a lot of confidence. That's a lot of groceries. That's a lot of free product, whatever it is. And then we just keep doing the things. But I love how it breaks it all down for them to, I love how it breaks out down the bat. So simple, little by little every day. And I've really gotten positive feedback from my coaches that are in it. And even like my discount coaches who are super familiar with the programs and the products, but love the tips and the tools to take it from using it yourself to making it a business. And so I just wanted to share, show me some love if this was helpful. Show me some love if this is something that you would like to do with your team, with your coaches. And I just briefly, I went through the group and like wrote down notes. But I am going to put it together in maybe a Google Doc, but definitely an Evernote in my phone so that I can just kind of go through almost like not as scripted, because I still need to do the lives, and that is important for me to make sure that there are lives in there, so I can't just schedule this and be done with it. I have to be invested. I need to be invested with my people, or I also fall off the face of the earth. So for me, this is awesome, and I'm super excited about it, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So I hope some of it, any of it was helpful. I know that 7 days is a lot for a group, but if people are serious about coaching, I also like putting them in one group for a week. Hear me out on this one. People sign up as a coach and you're like, okay, you need to do this group, this group, this group, this group, this group. And people are like, what the, right? So, myself included. I remember as a new coach, April was like, oh, let's do this. I said, I need another Facebook group. Like, I need a hole in my head. Like, I just can't. And I remember feeling that way as a new coach. So, I don't want to overwhelm my people. I just want to get them started. So I really like putting them in this one group for 1 week, focus on the basics, and then from there into the team page, into the Push to Emerald group if they want to push for it, and so on and so forth. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a great day. Happy weekend.